In any session, he's the first bike out.
A hand up from Hafiz? No, I thought there was a problem. Let's see. Hafiz Sharin Abdullah, JDT Racing Team on the Ducati in P1. Chip Nakarin, Honda Asia Dream Racing with a Stamo on P2. Aslan Sharkan Razaman, TKKR BMW Racing Team P3.
His best starting position, and Yuki Kuni for STG Team Hark Pro Honda.
Andy Farid Izdahar, Andi Gilang as he's better known, Honda Asia Dream Racing with the Stamo in 7. Kazma Daniel Kazmayuddin, still not looking right on the Yamaha.
In P11 and P12, Osama Murray for Victor Racing Team.
And in splendid isolation, Chiu Yu Zhou from Sabitar ESG Team Asia, as you say, though, sharing with Evolution. And the absent on pole position, right of your screen. What kind of a start on the Ducati? What kind of a start from Chip Nakarim and Aslan Shah on the left? Visors are cleared. Red lights are off and we are underway. Hafiz looks like he's off to a solid start, so does Chip Nakarin. He's just going into the way of the BMW of Aslan Shah Kamruzaman. It's Aslan Shah who's just undertaken by Hafiz, and Hafiz Sharin, a moment there for Chip Nakarin. But Hafiz Sharin gets himself into P1, and you fear that Hafiz will be able to motor away from here.
Yep, it is Nakarin who's got the best of the rest. He's going to have an early pop to see what he had made up a place, but look who's coming. Aslan Shah.
Yeah.
He knows the danger presented by Hafiz Sharin.
Aslan in P4. There is Hafiz. Looks mighty powerful on the gas and accelerates away. First of only 4 left-handers, and they're back-to-back here. Hafiz leading the way from now.
Yeah, there'll only be one thing on Aslan's mind, and that will be to get past Soichiro, just in front of him, and Nakarin, because over race distance, he's most likely the rider who can challenge Hafiz, who's got a little gap there at the front.
Look at the power, though, of this Ducati. Soichiro Minamoto in was led into the first corner, but the Ducati of Hafiz Sharin and JDT, they lead over the start-finish line. That is fearsome for the rest of the field.
Yep, Aslan chops in front of Soichiro Minamoto. He's on a mission.
There is Aslan. He's in P4 at the moment. Lachlan Epis just behind him. He's done well to stay in control. Soichiro Minamoto is there, sorry. So Aslan now into P3 ahead of Minamoto. On the Yamaha, Lachlan Epis. Well, he said he was going to go for it, but up at the front. Again, Hafiz Sharin. And that new BMW engine.
Yeah, concertinaing up here. So get into turn 10.
Front 3 pulling away. Lachlan Epis holding up a Yuki Kuni, and Yuki's made a good comeback. Also in there is Andy Farid Izdahar. I expect Andy Farid, a lot of people thought Andy would go really well here this weekend, and so his 7th place in qualification, which was messed up by the rain. But even without that, he hasn't looked really on his game this weekend.
Yeah, free practice. He looked good, consistent. He was his pace was good, although the conditions were variable. But yeah, we really thought that it would be Andy coming through to challenge, but from a 3rd row start, that was a big ask at the start of this race.
2 experienced Malaysians, 1 and 2, but it's Hafiz Sharin on the last lap, and Aslan Shah knows that he can't let Hafiz get too far clear. The difference is already over a second.
Yeah, Nakarin challenging Aslan Shah. The wise thing to do, easy to say from the commentary box, is to follow Aslan for now. Lachlan Epis getting on the back of those 2 as well.
Absolutely, Lachlan Epis has given this a real go. He's in P4 at the moment. He's holding off Yuki Kuni on bike number 92. And then behind them, you've got Andy Farid Izdahar, who won. But this Ducati is flying. Aslan, P2. Okay, we're hearing there's a little bit of rain out on the far side of the circuit, and it's partially covering this circuit, isn't it? So, could that interfere with the remaining 10 laps of this race?
Well, it could make things easier. Yeah. Aslan, what was the gap that time, Des?
Yeah, he's just posted a 1:33.6, so he's made up 3/10. Lachlan Epis loses P4 to Yuki Kuni.
Yeah, Yuki Kuni is a rider here. You know his quality. He's only 21 years old. As you were saying, Des, he won his first race in the All Japan Championship on Hafiz Sharin, isn't he?
Certainly is. Well, in perfect conditions, you would imagine that Hafiz was going to race away with this, but the rain rather changes the equation. And also the power of the new BMW engine for Aslan Shah Kamrazaman. He has closed right up. It was more than a second, the gap at the end of the previous lap, but you can tell just visually it's an awful lot tighter now.
Yep, just a couple of bike lengths between them there.
Gosh, we've already into lap number 4. And Aslan late on the brakes. Hafiz, lovely line going through there. Nothing Hafiz can do, he's just got to focus on his own work, as our cameras focus on Aslan Shah Kamrazaman, but they go through. It's 0.2 of a second between them, and again Aslan has posted a very, very quick time, a 1:33.3, just 0.2 of a second between them. We've got a race, Barry Russell.
And he's got the real belief. All talk of retirement has gone. He believes he can take this championship.
Maybe the reintroduction of Hafiz back into the Asia Road Racing Championship, that's just the spur, that's the challenge Aslan Shah needs. He's already won one race, but Hafiz Sharin, he's been on the podium once. This is Yuki Kuni's got himself into P4, and Andy Farad Islar's up into P5 ahead of Lachlan Epis. So Andy Farad isn't going to give up too easily.
Yeah, that's an interesting battle behind that front two. As we're looking at Nakarin, Yuki Kuni threatening. Took 2 P4s first time out in Buriram. He's getting dropped to P5 by Andy Farid.
Shah has lost a little bit of ground. He was up to within a couple of bike lengths. Now whether that is Hafiz able to accelerate away or a slight mistake, I'm not quite sure. But look at this, in P3, Chip Nakarin, closely followed by Andy Farad Izdahar. Andy Farad looking to get up into P3. There is the battle for P3, and Andy Farad is up there on the Honda ahead of Chip Nakarin. Yuki Kuni chases.
Some mixed conditions on the circuit, creating all kinds of challenges.
I'm glancing constantly over my shoulder to see if there's rain, where there's rain, if it's been blown away, because it is gusty, it is windy, the clouds.
Nakarin Atirapuvapat, he's in P3. And let's see what he can do. We saw some really good pace from the Indonesian yesterday.
Hafiz Sharin still holds a lead. Well, at the last marker it was nearly a second. I think you can see visually that it's not that. Behind them, Chip Nakarin is there, but when you get to the long straights, that Ducati just explodes away from the BMW, which is not slow. A 29.6.
Yeah, he's really trying to break Aslan now, isn't he? Much bigger gap.
It was 0.9 of a second at the end of the previous lap. At the end of this lap, it is 0.9 of a second. Aslan is just about keeping pace with him. In fact, he just caught up 1/10 of a second, 2/10 of a second behind them. Andy Gilang. Is Andy closing? I think he is, you know.
I would expect him to close, given the pace that we saw from him yesterday. He was disadvantaged by that third row start today, but he's got the others out of the way.
It is a 2-second disadvantage that he's got, but plenty of time to go. We are just approaching halfway in this 13-lap race. Andy Farid, who started way, way down in P7, got himself up nicely up into...
Buriram, we saw Aslan pull off a similar trick, come up from way down. Probably not quite as far down as Andy's had to make his way up for this time. Through turn 9.
There's the BMW of Aslan Shah. 36 points for him at the moment. But look at the Ducati, the red and blue, the Johor colours, followed by the green of TKKR.
Yeah, the gap to, sorry Des, the gap to watch now next time around is going to be the gap back to Andy Farid.
Well, he's posting fast times. He's just posted Aslan.
Last time around he was quickest.
7/10 between Aslan, 2.5 down. He is closing just a bit, and he's extending his lead. Epis, to his credit, Lachlan coming through for Evolution Racing, bike 83. Well done, Lachlan Epis, holding on there into P6.
Yep, lapping in the mid 34s, 134s.
Yuki Kuni at one stage got himself up. The grandstand and the office buildings overlook this right-hander from Chip Nakarin in.
Yeah, a little bit strung out at the moment. Half distance, we're over half distance. And we're waiting for a move just to see whether Andi Gilang can catch Aslan Shah, whether Aslan Shah can get back on terms with Hafiz Sharin, whether Yuki Kuni can come strong later in the race.
In fact, it's been near perfect from Hafiz Sharin. Flying through Andi Gilang. His gap is, he's made up 0.2, so he's made up a bit, but he needs to be getting closer than that.
Yeah, that he needs to improve his. Aslan's not even thinking about that. He's just got his eyes focused on the Ducati in front of him.
TKKR Racing, eyes on the JDT bike, the blue and red, the Ducati,
Yeah.
bike number 55. Aslan has got a lot of work to do.
A little bit of a tease from the weather gods here in China.
They've been teasing us all day, and it's been a mighty relief for those who are leading. Utterly dominant performance by Hafiz Sharin. As he comes round, he had a fast sector 1:29. His last lap was a 1:33.3. He's just lapped in a 1:33.7. He's increased his lead from 7/10 to 9/10. But Andy Farid is closing in.
Fastest rider last time around was Andy Farid. He is, you can see the gap is almost even between Hafiz and Aslan,
That Andy Farid has got right onto the tail of Aslan Shah. So the championship leader, he might not get 25 points, but he'll certainly believe 20 is within his grasp, because he's closed right in on the back of the BMW of Aslan Shah Kamruzaman. Now Aslan is on, who's on soft tyres?
mediums, front and rear. I think that's just personal choice for setup. I don't think it's going to be conclusive for this race.
Now the lead for the Ducati of Hafiz Sharin is growing, and Aslan will be aware of the pressure that he is under. Just having a little nibble. Has he been able to? The answer is no. But Aslan is under massive pressure on the BMW as they come through into the corner. Aslan is now looking backwards rather than forwards.
Let's look at the drive down the straight between the BMW and the Honda. And once again, Andy Farid quickest out of the front three on that last lap.
Yuki Kuni through into P. Yu Zhou has to get out of the way of Hafiz Sharin.
And even more so, he needs to get out of the way of the battle behind him between Aslan and Andy, because we wouldn't want that to affect the outcome of this P2 battle. 3 laps to go. I think we can call it a P2 battle now.
Oh, Yu Zhou is in the way and kind of blocks Aslan, and look at that. Yu Zhou into P2. Not that Zhou had anywhere to go.
Yeah, difficult one for him. But Aslan comes back, as you knew he would. But it is Andy that's got the better pace, Des.
And there you're seeing it once again. Andy Farid goes through. Joe Joe. This time is whether Aslan was impeded by the back marker then. But it doesn't really matter at the moment because Andy Farid is the hardest through. But it's a 2-second gap between the man in P2 and the man in P1 with just 2 laps to go.
Yeah, and making his way into P5 is Yuki Kuni. That's a battle royal between these two.
That's the second time that Yuki has had a go at that particular corner. The second time Chip Nakarin has been able to defend. There's a real battle going on. Ding dong for P4, a ding dong for P2, but miles out in front. We are going to stay on board here with Hafiz Sharin. He goes through. Aslan Shah has given up, I think, P2. Yuki Kuni at the moment ahead of Chip Nakarin. And Chip will have another little look through. We're going to have to go back to the leader in just a moment, because Hafiz Sharin is going to take this race for P4. We are now on the final lap. Hafiz Sharin goes through.
Yeah, the front 6 all visible on the main straight. Battle Nakarin, as we often see, riding that bike quite loose in his efforts to get quicker, get ahead of the young Japanese rider in front of him.
What a brilliant battle this is between these two. They've swapped positions 4 or 5 times. In the meantime, Andy Farid has got a bit of daylight between him and Aslan Shah. The 2 is Andy Farid, 3 is Aslan Shah. Yuki has got himself ahead of Nakarin. Lachlan Epis is in P6.
Yeah, once again it was Andy who was the fastest rider last time around, which explains the gap that you can see on track there.
Hold on as they come into the straight at the back, but there are Johor in just their 3rd race. It looks like the JDT team are going to have a victory to celebrate. Bike number 55, Hafiz Sharin Abdullah, comes into the final corner, and this Ducati has led almost from the start. Hafiz Sharin Abdullah for JDT takes the victory ahead of Andy Farid, ahead of Aslan Shah. Behind them it is Yuki Kuni who gets the better of Chip Nakarin. Lachlan Epis in P6. But that was a fabulous performance from Hafiz Sharin, and he'll deserve all the plaudits that he gets.
Yeah, he will, and it shows you just how important qualifying is, because Andy Farid would have taken the fight to Hafiz had he not started from the back and got himself held up in traffic early in the race. Terrific pace from the Indonesian Honda Asia Dream Racing rider to come through and finish 2nd. Congratulations from Aslan. Johor flag gets tucked into against the tank.
In the red and blue of JDT Racing on the Ducati.
Yeah, it was a DNF and a P2 in Buriram. Now it's a P1 in round 2 race.
And there is confirmation of the result. Your winner, Hafiz Sharin Abdullah on the Ducati 710 for Yamaha Technique Racing Team Asia in P8. Pasowitz getting the better of Kazma Daniel, who had another difficult outing, but will pick up points in P10. And then Chen Hong Yan in 11, Osama Murray in P12.